This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Whoa. Landing an account this big will totally change my landscaping business. It's gonna mean hiring more guys and more equipment and new trucks for the new guys to drive the new equipment in. I don't know if I'm ready.
You can do this, and Ford Pro FinSimple can help. Our experts are ready to make growing pains less painful for your business with flexible financing solutions that meet the needs of your business today when you need them. Get started at fordpro.com/financing.
Whoa, this new Sound of Freedom film is killing us at the box office.
Even worse, it's changing hearts and minds. My sacred right as a Hollywood director.
Oh, please. It couldn't change my mind.
I'll take that bet. Alexa, 2 tickets for Sound of Freedom.
From the free ticket portal online. We have to be responsible about which brands we support, you know.
Señor Timoteo, ¿tú rescatas niños, verdad?
Over 2 million children a year are being sucked into the deepest recesses of hell. If we do nothing, someday it's gonna reach the likes of you.
Bravo! Bravo!
Wow. What a film! My eyes are opened.
I had no idea. The pain, the suffering, the heroism.
They go through so much.
All so they can bring us children.
Savaged. This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Real news, it's not fake news.
Dance along the line.
Am I allowed to say that? Oh, I'm not political. Anyway, guys. So yeah, we're ready for this. 1 second.
The left are liars. Stop the fucking bullshit.
Bye. Go home to mommy.
An army or a group. It only takes one person to fight for freedom.
Savage Unfiltered.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition here of Savage Unfiltered, guys. Today I got a lot to talk about on the show, a lot. And it's been a crazy week in the political field, the political world, not only as a podcast host, but a content creator, guys. I want to get into this new movie that's literally buzzing all over social media, The Sound of Freedom. Rotten Tomatoes, guys, is giving it a big thumbs up. I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, shaky, like a 4.9, right? Just had to look at the producer here. Yeah, he's shaking his head. Yeah, about a 4.9. And it's I mean, you know what? That is definitely, guys, it's definitely I mean, that's reality, right? It's I mean, a 4.9, okay. I mean, if I was a movie critic, which I'm not, I would totally accept it. But speaking of movie critics, guys, we're going to talk about that today on today's show on Savage Unfiltered. But before we jump in, guys, you know me, I got to give the shout outs to our exclusive sponsors here on the show, Live Rishi, guys. Want to say thank you to Live Rishi. I've been using them for about a year now. And it's tremendous, guys. Tremendous products. Use that Live Rishi, that Rishi rub on your skin. Hell, you can even put it in your mouth. They have like products, you know, if you have like a rash or some kind of tooth infection. Check it out, guys. LiveRishi.com. It's organic CBD oil. And if you use Savage 10, guys, you're going to get 20% off your order. That's right, guys. Our exclusive deal for you guys. Check them out today. Live Rishi. Can't say more than enough what those awesome guys are doing over there on liverishi.com. Also want to say thank you to Blackout Coffee. That's right, guys. Another exclusive sponsor picking up the show. Blackout Coffee. Much love to you guys. Thank you very much. If you're trying to look for a product that's patriotic and just downright conservative here in the country, check out Blackout Coffee. Not only do I love it, guys, but there's tremendous amount of podcasters out there that just choose Blackout Coffee for the show, and it's awesome that they're choosing this show as months of the greatest out there. Dan Bongino, Tucker, I mean, all of them. They love Blackout Coffee, and I love Blackout Coffee too, guys. Check out Blackout Coffee. That will be on the show notes too, guys, so you can get all your exclusive offers through the show here on Savage Unfiltered through Blackout Coffee. So, you know what, guys? I'm done with the sponsors. Back to the show. Let's get this show started here. I wanna welcome my good friend here, joining us from Tennessee. He's been on the show about once or twice. My good buddy Rusty. Rusty, buddy, like, what's going on, man? I want to talk a little bit about this this Sound of Freedom. Have you seen the movie yet in movie theaters or streaming or what?
Yeah, actually, I went on the true opening day, which actually turned out to be July 3rd. Wasn't expecting it. I went to go watch Indiana Jones, but I noticed it was already out, and I told the girlfriend, I said, we need to watch this movie right here because it's very important. So we watched it too.
So wait, so you went for like a double feature then that day, right? You seen Indiana Jones plus Sound of Freedom?
Yep, so I got to see both of them that day, so it was pretty cool. I was off that Monday, July 3rd, so I got to watch both of them.
Yeah, so here's my question for you, Rusty. You know, I've been checking out a lot of like YouTube videos and a couple videos circulating TikTok and Rumble, and there's certain, you know, fans of the movie that are experiencing like weirdness, man. You know, with the sound going off like mid-roll of the movie, and you know, AMC movie theaters and other companies, like, you know, maybe it's glitches or maybe they're doing it on purpose. Did you experience any weirdness to the movie, or did it play in its full entirety?
Yes. During the first, I would think 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, it started glitching a little bit. There was a whole bunch of us ran out of there real quick and told the guys, and by the time we got back in there, it was fixed. But
really?
we've been having that experience at AMC with other movies as well. The Mission Impossible movie, we went and saw it. It did it. The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, it did it too.
Really?
But yes.
Okay, because you know how YouTube is, man. They kind of get a little neurotic sometimes. You know, certain people, they post just about any type of shit on it, and you know, I'm like, you know what? I gotta have somebody on the show, you know, such as yourself, Rusty, or anybody, you know, and ask that question. Did you experience any type of glitches or difficulties through the movie? And that's interesting. You know, you follow with those other people on YouTube. Do you think maybe they're doing this to movies like, you know, Mission Impossible and Sound of Freedom on purpose because they don't want you to understand like the reality behind it?
I would have to say I'm 50-50 on it because I don't know for sure, but at the same point in time, I would think maybe it's just the digital movies are getting overloaded and messing up there because they got so many servers and stuff running. But then again, I couldn't put it past them to actually try to sabotage certain scenes or something like that a little bit. You know what I mean? You just don't ever know these days.
Yeah, you know, and quite interesting too. You know, like you have a movie that literally came out right at the right moment of time, especially in our society, like where we're facing like a lot of craziness, where whether it's drug trafficking or human trafficking or sex trafficking, I mean, just about everything. Actually, let's jump into it. Do you think maybe they don't want to see in this movie because it just paints out like truth and reality for what we're seeing here in America?
Short answer, yes. A little bit more of a long answer would be, it shouldn't. If you're a good person, no matter what, if you're on the right or the left, what spectrum you're on, if you're a good person and go watch this movie has not got any like things pointing to the right or left, really. It's just about right or wrong, showing human trafficking. So anybody that's on the left or any other form of the political spectrum that don't want this movie to get out, then I'm going to say they're okay with human trafficking, drugs, and pedophilia. That's just my opinion on it.
You understand where I'm going with this, with the pedophilia, right? You just touched on something like I was going to bring into it, but, I'm glad that you kind of brought up pedophilia because, we're seeing huge amounts of pedophilia still to this day. Paints a broad picture of what we're seeing. And the reason I said the left more than the right is you see more of this activity, this radicalized activity towards the left. With the
far left, the far left, yes, the very far left, that's and you've got far left judges and far left politicians in high places in the government that are saying pedophilia is perfectly okay and perfectly natural, and that's not cool.
No, it's. I mean, no. That's where I draw the line. And, it's about our children, especially young children where they don't have a sense of direction like, an average adult over the age of 25 or possibly 30 comprehend. Because, you ever heard that expression or that thought, Rusty, where it actually takes 24, 25 years for the human brain mindset to fully develop?
Yeah, I believe that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a scientific fact. Try saying that to somebody that will look at you and they're super triggered and everything, and they're like, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong." No, it's true. It's a scientific fact. 24, 25 years, your brain is fully developed at its full capacity, and it's conditioned from whatever it gets put in at the age of pretty much birth up until 24, 25. So imagine all that stuff going into your brain for 24, 25 years. The brain the mindset is like, okay, well, this is normal. You just said like, they're bringing this into society where, especially pedophilia, where it's like, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's that's sick. That's disgusting.
That's what they're going with, and like you say, they're targeting like Gen Z and the younger folks and everything. When they should actually, it was the family and how families are and everything today. Everybody getting divorced and everything. Families, struggling, single parents and stuff like that. Anybody that's in any authority position should be good, strong leaders and instilling morals into everybody. Like when I went to school, I had a lot of great teachers who were, heck, even more. I even learned more about morals and things like that and stuff from my dad. They were mentoring me. But today you don't have that. You have all these people trying to push the narrative, like you're saying, about pedophilia is okay. This is okay. This is perfectly natural and all this stuff and not letting them decide for themselves, not letting them learn for themselves and trying to brainwash them.
I think it's a mixture of everything, Rusty. I think it's like, it's like they can care less, they can care two shits. You actually have teachers more or less now more worried about their salary, their paycheck than actually, being an educator to these children. Back then, I'm sure school teachers were always, careful with their money and they're always, watching their salary caps, as an educator. But you see that more where it's like, oh, well, I only make so much as a teacher, so I'm not really going to put a full effortness into teaching now. I think you see that now, and it shows that behavior where they can care two craps, and it's like the whole curriculum has totally changed. they're worried about teaching about genderness and this and that. I mean, at a young age of 5 and 6, I mean, folks, if you're listening to the show, you know this is like a broken record. I've mentioned this time after time after time. And it's sad, Rusty, that we have to talk about this on podcasts such as this and other shows that have to touch on this, because that is reality. It's a sick reality that is becoming normalized. I think that's what they want. They want it normalized. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, not like we don't have enough stuff to worry about in the world today. I mean, there's a lot of other issues that need to be covered too, but yet they keep throwing certain issues in our face, and it's become an even bigger issue.
Hey everybody, this is Bob Lamette with Static Radio. You won't believe where I'm going to be on July 22nd. Live on Rumble on Savage Unfiltered with Michael and Joseph. You can stop by and, tell us what you think.
Savage Unfiltered.
Hi, welcome to YouTube.
Thanks, it's great to be here. I'm just gonna upload my video right now.
Let me see it first. Oh, wow. No, you can't post that.
Why not?
I don't agree with that. Nope.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm uploading my video.
All right, that's a warning, pal.
Dude, you need to relax.
Flag!
What?
Okay, you want to get crazy? Boom, boom, double flag. There goes your video.
Did you just cancel me? All right, I'm gonna be leaving now.
Where are you going?
To a place where I can't get canceled and they celebrate free speech.
Have fun in Fantasyland.
It's not Fantasyland. It's called Rumble. Later, pal. Did you need these back?
Yeah, I'm gonna need those for the next person.
Got you. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
Savage Unfiltered.
They really
Yeah. So my next question here is, like, with this movie Sound of Freedom, which I love, by the way, Sound of Freedom. I know, and I'm going to throw this out there for all the fascocrats, and it's a word that one of my co-hosts that's normally on the show, but he's not joining us tonight. My co-host Joseph. Shout out to you, Joseph. I know you listen to the show. Even when you're not on the show. But Joseph coined this term, fascocrats. I know, they're going to be like, oh, well, why are you talking like this and that? Because these are the type of people that we're constantly fighting against. These are the people that want this normalized in this society. They're like, oh, there's nothing wrong for this type of behavior. There's nothing wrong by teaching a child that it's okay to be a girl when they're a boy at the age of 4 and 5. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because guess what, guys? Little boys and girls are confused and they're curious at that age. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, something, this has been going on for years. It's just now we have the technology and the stuff with social media to bring it out. There's good and bad to social media. Social media brings light on a lot of good things, but then, the other side, they use social media to cover up things. So as long as they're pushing something with social media that they like, fine. But you show that Hollywood, you show that it leaks, you show one thing that they mentioned in there, that the United States is the #1 capital in the world for importing those kids from outside the country, for sex trafficking and everything. So it's got to be a lot of rich elites and for sure it's like I'm gonna even say Hollywood execs. Hollywood don't want it out, but a lot of rich execs and elites, they're doing it. And now that we got the technology to blow the lid off of it, yet they're coming down on us with all this stuff because they say, oh, y'all need to be censored. Y'all are trying to instigate violence and everything. Yet we're saying pedophilia is okay. Yeah.
How are we inciting violence? I think the only thing that we're inciting is protection. We're inciting protection for our children. We're inciting protection against our families, against this woke poison that has injected itself into America. You mentioned Hollywood elites and executives and everything. There's a good good actor. I've been following him since I was a little boy up until now. Where he basically kind of came out of the woodwork with Saturday Night Live and all the late night comedy skit shows. And he's been in a lot of movies. Good friends of Adam Sandler and all those movies with Rob Schneider.
I'm going to say I voted for Trump in 2016. Let me explain. I know. For some people, that's an issue. For some people, first of all, it was in California, and I was right in the kitchen.
And Rob Schneider has a show out. Have you seen the show? Something with woke. Woke Up in America. I think that's what the show is called. Yeah, right.
I've seen clips of him talking about things and everything, shorts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I'm mentioning Rob Schneider is, believe it or not, folks, Rob Schneider. Yeah. You would think Rob Schneider would be on that whole, Hollywood elite list and, and be all for this whole, transgenderness and pedophilia and LGBT and Black Lives Matter. No, he's actually one of the fewest members on the Hollywood list of actors and actresses that's fighting against this, even in the Hollywood industry, Rusty. He's sick and tired of it. He's like, it's disgusting right now what's going on in Hollywood.
There's other ones like him. Anybody who
I'm just using him for a clear example. Yeah,
but it's becoming more and more. The actor in Sound of Freedom, Jim Caviezel, he's tired of the Hollywood bull crap. He's not getting big Hollywood roles anymore, and he don't care because he wants to blow the lid off of it. You got like John Snyder. He started his own studio where he does a lot of faith-based films, and films, patriotic films and stuff like that. And you got like Dean Cain. Dean Cain's the same way. Hollywood kicked him out when he was doing Supergirl, and they started doing some stuff on Supergirl he didn't like. They kicked him out of Hollywood. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. You know what? People like Rob Schneider. Even Roseanne Barr. I mean, she's leaving A-list movies, Rusty, and going down to the B scale, C scale. Excuse me. And these people are like, it's right now. It's not about money. Because they made a fortune and they're very successful actors and actresses. It's not always about the money. They're saying, it's about doing what's right, because they're getting sick and tired of bullshit in America. And like you said, they're going down to lower scale movies because some of these lower scale movies, such as Sound of Freedom, it was kind of like a movie where they were like, okay, we'll see how it goes. And then look, it made like over, what was it? Like 300-400 million right now in the first weekend.
Yeah. It's up there. And see, they with that movie, they ran into every kind of problem in the world during production, and they actually made it 5 years ago and couldn't distribute it till now because Disney, one of Disney's fringe companies, owned the rights to it, and they would not put it in theaters. They bought it actually so it wouldn't be distributed. Disney
I noticed Disney. I noticed the Disney copyrights and the licensing. They didn't want to do that, and I want to touch on with Disney because that's kind of quite interesting. And then obviously, folks, if you're not aware, this movie does go back 5 years in the making. A lot of it has to do with the COVID restrictions, which damn near killed the Hollywood industry. There's a lot of restrictions, through COVID, Rusty, where they had to put a lot of films on standby. Oh, even the latest like Beetlejuice 2 that's in production right now. Beetlejuice 2 is supposed to come out like 2.5 years ago, and it looks like it's going to be coming out in the next couple of months. Yeah, but
COVID was just the icing on the cake with that. With everything else they had to go through. It's just amazing they were able to get it out, and they were actually able to distribute it.
Here's the thing, Rusty. They can't blame it on COVID right now, because COVID was like a blame for everything in every industry. Oh, we can't do it because of COVID. We can't do it because of that. Well, COVID, guys, I hate to say it, folks. COVID's a nothing burger. Like, no one talks about COVID anymore. Like it's like it never existed. You know?
you're right. I mean, you hardly hear anything about it unless you get diagnosed with it. Oh, and then they just tell you, "We'll try to stay away from people in your house for 5 days," and then yeah, basically, and then even some companies will let you come to work with it. They just tell you, "Hey, make sure you stay away from people."
Yeah. So you mentioned something interesting here, guys. I want to talk with Rusty about this Disney thing.
The movie Sound of Freedom has taken the internet and the world by storm, absolutely demolishing the box office, beating movies like Indiana Jones with only a $13 million budget. But despite being such a huge box office success and blowing up all over the internet, legacy media and mainstream Hollywood still haven't really talked about this film, and the few that have tried to diminish it with hit pieces.
In terms of child trafficking, we know trafficking is real. We know it has real victims. No one is denying that. But these films are created out of moral panics. They're created out of bogus statistics. They're created out of fear. And with something like Sound of Freedom, it specifically is looking at QAnon concepts of these child trafficking rings that are run by the high-level elites, and only people like Tim Ballard and only people like Jim Caviezel, and by extension, only people like the ticket buyer can help bring these trafficking rings down.
But this doesn't make sense, because you would think a movie about sex trafficking and about a Homeland Security guy who went in and freed 2 children from sex trafficking and tried to stop sex trafficking would be popular. You'd think they would want.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show here. Rusty, I want to talk about this this Disney thing here. You mentioned Disney trying to pick up the licensing rights, and they didn't want to air it or distribute it. Is it because of the whole, because if you looked at this movie, folks, there is a lot of conservative, patriotic background to it. There's a lot of truth. There's not a lot of we're going to show you what you want to see or what we want you to see. There's none of that there. They don't sugarcoat nothing in this movie. It's presented like it's real life. You know what I mean? Do you think maybe by presenting it like it's real life and reality, that's why Disney didn't want to pick it up?
That's probably a pretty good reason. And I can't say anything for facts too, but I've heard a lot of bad rumors about the Walt Disney family.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how far you want me to go out on this.
Oh, go ahead. I mean, Rusty, it's uncensored, unfiltered, buddy. So, I mean, if you got something to express, man, the floor is yours, bud.
All right. So, I believe Masons are connected to the Templars, and I also believe Masons are connected to the Illuminati.
Okay, so you're going deep here on the show. You're going like Freemasons and beyond, right?
Okay, I won't go real far out there, but this listen. Masons are really, really connected to Disney. They are super connected to Disney. There's called rooms like at Disney World and everything where they hang out. They purchase them, and only rich elite Masons can go to those rooms. They call them like Club 33 rooms, like the 33rd degree of Masonry.
Oh, wow.
So I think there's a lot of, I'm just not sure about those guys. Secret organizations and stuff like that.
Well, here, let me chime in here. Let me chime in real quick, if you don't mind. Like, Disney is like a company within other companies that are aligned with these secret organizations, such as like the Templar and Freemasons and stuff like that, and Illuminati. They're aligned with them because the power grab of these companies of what they hold. Amazon, Walmart, they're all aligned with these secret organizations and cults. If you want to call it a cult, it's almost similar to a cult where only the so-called and few list of people are very familiar on how some of these organizations and cults of society work. You know what I mean? So
you actually, to understand it, you have to kind of be a member of it, and then coming out of it and then realizing, waking up and seeing what it was. And there's a lot of folks like that now,
Well, they don't just throw Yeah, Rusty, they just don't throw this type of membership or invitation to anybody. I mean, they go back like it's a freaking mob, man. Like if you were like in, the Gambini family from, the New York or somewhere around there, they go back within bloodline, like generation and generation, to really, okay, well, we have to make sure that, uh you can earn our trust. You know what I mean? Kind of
And
feeling.
they got to have the millions and millions too. They got to be, like basically descendants of royalty and descendants of nobleship, and have the money, have the millions.
Iced tea? Come on, Liquid Death. This is like my grandma's energy drink.
This is gonna be fun. Ready? Swung a little wide there. Well, aren't we a tall glass of water? Me? I'm more of a Hawaiian punch. I'm guessing you don't fight much outside of your car now, do you?
Look, clown, I don't need four wheels to kick your ass. Any chance we can get this back in the cars?
How about a little kill music? She had dumps like a truck. That's like what? All night long.
Let me see that thong.
Like it when the beat go?
Da-da-da-da.
Baby, let your booty go.
Da-da-da-da.
Girl, you want to show?
Da-da-da-da.
The thong. Do you love the silver-haired god? Then don't lie to me.
Yeah, man. Look, I listened to Unleash the Dragon so many times the disc broke. I'm not a liar.
But you said you were coming to my show, and then you shot at me.
It was a misunderstanding. I've been getting shot at ever since I can remember. It's forced habit, I guess.
Sounds like you have trust issues.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Nice pipes, dude, I have to say. That high note, it's perfect.
A word?
Yeah. Can I go? I got somewhere to be.
I thought you said you were coming to the show.
Of course I am. Just, can I leave after the show?
Well, in that case, tonight is opening night.
Twisted Metal.
Savage. Unfiltered.
Yeah. So it's kind of quite interesting that, Disney didn't want to pick up the rights and licensing to this movie, Sound of Freedom, but they're willing to, to promote and sell transgenderism, sex trafficking. I mean, you go to Disney World right now in Florida, Rusty, you see all that shit drapered down in their parks. I mean, an average 5 or 6-year-old wouldn't understand that. But if you were a very intelligent average man or woman, you could see what the hell they're selling right now in 2023. It's disgusting. It really is.
Yeah, they're going off the deep end, and it is what it is. I mean, they're.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole total direction that they're going with everything. It's just, and like you say, we talked about it. They got all these connections with everything, and of course, Disney would not want this film to get out that tells the truth about things, that shows a lot of it. And they actually own the rights to distribute the movie. That's what held it up so long. They owned it with one of their fringe companies. So they didn't want it to get out at all. And until, I guess, they had to fight a legal battle to get it away from them so they could get it out. I mean, I don't know exactly all the details, but I mean, I just know kind of what a summary of it. So yeah.
You know what's baffling to me is I'm surprised that the rating that they gave it was PG-13, and the reason for that is because of the type of content that's expressed in it. There's a lot of adult content, and I mean, of course, yes. I mean, you have to understand, folks. Like, we've come a long way in movie ratings and how production companies and executive directors and executive management in that industry of rating a movie works. Because, like, you remember back in the day where the original, we were talking about Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice, there's a lot of, like, sexual content in that movie. You know, that movie was actually only PG back then. Now, that movie would probably be close to rated R or PG-13. So the ratings have come a long way over the course of like 20 to 30, 40 years. But I'm surprised that they gave that a PG-13. I was really, really surprised. I thought it was going to go to a rated R movie, you know?
Well, I mean, there wasn't a lot of profanity in it, and I mean that.
Well, I'm not talking about the profanity. I'm talking about the content. Yeah. I'm talking about how they expressed it in the movie. Because you got to remember, like an average 13-year-old, Rusty, they know what we're talking about on the show. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 13 or 14, 15-year-old kids, teenagers listen to a show like mine or something similar to mine. But they understand the content. I'm talking about, like, how certain parents would probably, I mean, you got to remember, there's kids out there that are more sheltered than kids today. Some parents actually do shelter their children until they're 16 years old, where they don't allow that content in front of them. You know what I mean? So
there was disturbing content, but I think they brought it forth in a way where they didn't show you everything. They just insinuated to what happened. And I think that's probably why they got away with the PG-13 rating. I mean, they let you know when that door closed. You just knew when the door closed, when that dad left his 2 kids with that lady who said she was going to make them famous and everything. You just know when he come back at 7 o'clock, they wasn't going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just insinuated things. It insinuated what happened, but it didn't really show any of those things. It made you know what was going to happen and what was happening, and made you kind of think what is happening. That's probably why they got away with the PG-13 rating.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was very strange, to, like, I was hoping them to push it to a rated R because of the content. There's a lot of explicit type of content in there. That's all. But, like, let's talk about the movie a little bit before we close it out. Like, do you think that this movie was made to wake people up, or do you think it was more politically motivated?
I think
first let's go to seeing, like, what you think with the to waking people up. Do you think it's gonna wake people up a little bit more, or do you think people are just it's gonna go through one ear out the other, and it's going to be like a 9/11. Remember 9/11? After 9/11, people were, like, united and the country came together. And then what, like 5-10 years later, it was like it never existed. We went back to our normal selves and we forgot all about it. Is this movie going to wake us up, Rusty, or are we going to forget about it in 2, 4, 5 years?
Well, that's hard to say, but I have seen some positive effects about it, whether they be short term. I mean, I've seen people from all walks of life, all around the political spectrum. I'm just talking about people that live near me here in Tennessee that it didn't offend them politically, and it kind of brought some awareness to it, and it disturbed them. And
So the fact that they're now trying to silence certain stories and certain movies and promote others really shows that they've forgotten where Hollywood started, and shows that they've completely forgotten what art and what storytelling is really about. So it really does break my heart to see such a great movie like this and such a successful movie like this not be celebrated by mainstream media and by
positive effect can be. But one thing that's going to have an even greater effect on it is how long it stays in theaters. And as long as there's a demand, it will stay in theaters. And there's a way, Angel Studios has got the way where you can pay it forward and buy folks tickets, so folks can claim the free tickets who can't afford to go see. So it's putting it out on a wider reach. And they had a $2 million, sorry about that, 2 million free ticket goal. And they've actually got over 8 million free tickets bought now.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
blasted their goal out of the water. And as long as it keeps going and folks can keep going and seeing it, and there's a demand for it, and folks will pay to go see it, and folks will pay for others to go see it, I mean, who knows where it can go? Who knows how long it can stay in theaters?
Yeah.
They're distributing.
And I like that. Yeah, I was gonna say I like how they're throwing in the free ticket, because this is a production company with the set of directors, executive management, producers. They're throwing that pitch in there where it's not about money.
My name is John. I'm the founder of Blackout Coffee, and I started Blackout because I really love coffee. I've always loved coffee, and after traveling so much to Europe, South America, and trying so many different coffees that were so good, and every time I came back to the US, I was so disappointed with the coffee, so I figured that I had to do something about it. The biggest difference is on the beans and the roasting process, how we roast it, and how fresh it is. The fresher the roast, the better the quality. Here I have all of the coffee. It's roasted within 1 to 2 days prior to being shipped. So it literally gets to consumer's house within 3 to 5 days after being roasted. If you like coffee, you have to try ours. It's fresh roasted. It's one of the best beans that we can get, and you will definitely see the difference.
Savage Unfiltered.
Hey guys, what is going on? Michael Gardner here from Savage Unfiltered. Guys, check us out the end of this week, around July 22nd, as we are going to be dropping our new website, savageunfiltered.com. Check it out this Friday, guys. And also check us out this Saturday, the 22nd, live streaming on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook, including twitch.tv. Keep it there, guys.
They made
Keep
this
it
movie
savage.
to wake people up, and I hope you use the term offended. I hope it's not going to offend anybody. If anything, Rusty, I would love for this movie to even educate the uneducated people, the ones that are always triggered and constantly trying to stir up the pot, so to speak. I hope this movie educates and brings more people to to the glimpse of reality of what we're going as a nation. That's what I hope.
What I mean by offended is they should realize that what this movie portraying is happening. And this movie's only touching the iceberg on it. And the fact that it's happening should be offensive to anybody who's sane. It should be offensive to any sane adult.
Well, it's going to be offensive because it's showing truth. It's showing a reality of what we are as a nation. We're not the same United States as we were even. I mean, going back a short while ago of 20 years. I mean, it seems like it was just around the corner, but you could see a huge gap even 10 or 20 years ago. We're not that same nation, but I think it's going to wake people up. I hope it wakes people up.
What I'm saying is I want folks to be offended by, pedophilia, and be offended by that this is actually going on and it's been hidden from them, and want to do something about it. And
Well, damn,
awareness is
yeah.
the first
Raise your
step,
voice
I would
and
say.
come together and say, damn it,
Yeah.
stop this. Yeah, absolutely, Rusty. Yes.
It needs to make people, a little bit upset. They need to be upset, and they need to get loud about this. We should be protesting this more than a lot of other things.
So do you think this movie's going to be more politically motivated going into the 2024 election? Do you think they're going to use this movie as a backslop to it?
Well, Trump has already had sit-down interviews with Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard. He
Yeah, I
showed
know.
it
I
on
seen the interview just the other day when he was coming back from one of his rallies, which was, the man is like a Superman. He goes from rally to rally and still has enough time to interview with people. That's crazy. But yeah, I seen the interview. Yeah.
Trump's having private showings at I forget where he said it was. I don't know if it was.
There was a private showing down here near his Mar-a-Lago resort, which is in West Palm here in Florida. Yeah.
He was talking about doing a private showing somewhere. I didn't know if it was Mar-a-Lago or up there at Atlantic City at one of his hotels. But just doing that, it shows he's on the bandwagon from it, and he's sharing it. He's sharing all these posts about it on his social media. So he's behind it, and I think, maybe. I don't know if he's using that as a tool, but he knows that the information should be getting out there, and he's behind it, and it's too bad that anybody else ain't behind it. You would think something like this, even the president of the United States would get behind it, but he's not going to do that.
No, Joe Biden can care less. Even on the GOP side here in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, my governor here of the state, he's not really talking about this movie at all. If anything, not to play pun intended, but I think he's more or less trying to get his 25 polling number up to at least 50 or 60 because Donald Trump's leading them by 40 or 50 points by now.
Honestly, about Ron DeSantis, I think he's Disney, Soros, Pence, and Bush owned.
DeSantis, don't get me wrong, he's done wonders, and I said this to Joseph on the show last week. He's done wonders for the state. He's a great governor, but he's a duck in the water. He's not presidential material. The guy is. He's weak. He would be a conservative Republican version of Joe Biden if he was in office, but a lot younger, obviously, and he wouldn't carry policy directly, as it was coming forward. He's not presidential material. There's presidential material, and then there's the lower scale of both state and local government. He fits the bill perfectly as a state government leader. That's it. That's all he should be.
Well, the thing about that is, though, I know a lot of people who are moving up here from Florida because they can't pay their housing insurance and their property taxes.
It's terrible. It really it's bad here. And that's wow. I'm really.
And he said he was going to do something about that. Yet they said it's 3 or 4 times worse than when he started.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's a duck in the water. Like he's starting to get the pressure on him. And I think more pressure now. Quite recently, if you look at DeSantis in the last 3 or 4 months, the pressure, folks. What I mean by it is, from this presidential polling. Because he sees where Trump is right now in the possible primary candidate for the ticket there in 2024. He knows that he's competing against a freaking Terminator right now with Trump, and the pressure's on him with that.
We are totally dominating DeSantis right here in the state of Florida. So we want him to get home and take care of insurance because you have the highest insurance in the nation. And the bill that they passed made it very good for the insurance company. All the money that he's using, which now is stopped because all of the people that were supporting him, they say, hey, wait a minute, you're down by 57 points. They may like him or they may not. But they don't want somebody that's down 57 points, and they're not stupid people, they're smart people. The sanctimonious of this establishment handlers are wasting such precious time and resources to divide the party. They're dividing the party. Although he's dropping so quickly, he's probably not going to be in second place much longer. I wonder who is going to be. Maybe it's Vivek.
Here's my prediction on that. He's not going to do good in the primary.
No, he's not even gonna. He's not even gonna get up to a 45. If he's lucky, by December, going into January, February of next year, he'll probably pull up to close to a 40, 37, 38. But he's gonna stay between like a 20, 27, 28 right now.
I got a feeling that a lot of folks are going to start putting a lot of money and political contributions behind Pence.
Pence is only pulling a 4, Rusty. He's low.
Listen, I think I don't like Pence. I think he's a traitor.
I think he's no different than your Mitt Romney. He's a rhino. Plain and simple. That's all he is.
But I do look for, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Republicans that hate Trump, which are rhinos, CINOs, and whatever Joe would call them. And I look for those guys who actually, Ron is a distraction. I actually look for them to put the money behind Pence. I may be wrong on that, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Pence to be, the underdog that they put money behind and cause issues. I'm looking for him. I think if they was to do that, Fox News would take off with him and make him out to be the savior.
A man devoted to one term of principles, not personalities. Here he is, a Christitutionalist, author, political activist, Joseph M. Leonard.
Hey guys, check out Joseph's podcast here, part of Savaged Unfiltered. Check his show out, Christitutionalist Politics Podcast. Available on Spotify and anywhere you hear a podcast, guys. Now, back to the show. Savage.
You never know. Maybe if Pence falls out of the race, which I think he is, I think by November, December, you're going to see Pence and the other ones that are going to drop out. And if he does, you might have that new slot open for Mike Pence to fill in the old shoes of Tucker Carlson. But speaking of Tucker Carlson, did you hear that? This is a rumor I heard from the grapevine. Little birdie said that Fox News might be trying to buy Tucker Carlson's contract back in.
Well, they lost a lot of ratings.
Oh, they still are.
Tucker's killing it on Twitter, man.
Yeah,
he is killing it on Twitter.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, he's killing it on Twitter. But I seen the interview he had with Donald Trump, and there was a certain thing I did not like where Donald Trump, he was pressuring him. Did you see the interview with Donald Trump?
No, I didn't see it.
There was some pressuring between Tucker and Donald Trump quite recently, and he kept on questioning the envelope, and it kind of made Donald Trump a little, I wouldn't say upset, but a little uncomfortable. That's not
hard to do.
Well, I mean, Donald Trump is the pit bull in politics. No one expected this man to be president 4.5, 5, 6 years ago. They didn't expect him. They were all laughing at him. You remember all the old, late night talk show hosts and for Jimmy Fallon to the British guy, always making fun of him. Oh, Donald Trump will never be president. From your Hillary Clinton to Barack Obama, he'll never be president. And sure enough, he was president.
Well, if they actually thought he would have won, they'd have cheated then.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have, massive. It'd been a massive amount, just like it was with Biden.
Well, that's why they're going
You know,
after him. They know the power, the power hold that he beholds. I mean, he brings a huge presence. Now, I mean, I'm going to get a little probably neurotic here, but it's the truth. I mean, when Donald Trump speaks, he has like that godly message behind him. Now, I'm not saying he's a god, folks, and we're going to have like, snowflakes and leftists out there that are going to be like, oh, Michael said God. Michael said God on Savage Unfiltered. He's a god. No, he's not a god, but he brings that presence of a godly figure because of the threatening message that goes to the left. Every time he speaks, they're trying to, fish in another witch hunt. Every time he brings up policy pitches or proposals, they try to bring up fake dossiers against him. Have you noticed that? Like that's the godly presence that this man brings.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really say godly presence, but I would say that he's a great speaker. He commands authority, and when he speaks, most of the time,
it speaks volumes.
Yeah,
what I meant by that is a godly figure is like, okay, somebody has a power threshold behind their voice, because the ones that speak, even the ones that hate you, right? Your average haters out there, they're going to hate you, but you're still going to have their attention. You're still going to have their center threshold on you. They hate you. They're always going to hate you through either jealousy or regular hatred. But that is that godly presence I'm talking about. That's like putting them in the center of Central Park in New York City. You're people that are going to Jesus. Anybody from your non-believers to non-Christians, non-Catholics, all this. This goes back to the early times, right? The haters that hated Jesus, 2,000 some odd years ago, they're still going to have their center of attention on him. You know why? Because he brings that presence. And I think that's what Donald Trump is so similar to Jesus, in a way. I mean, he's not, perfect like Jesus, but he's a man. Jesus is different. But I'm saying there's similarities because of the presence. And I'm just saying that for a clear example. There's only a selected few in this world that can bring that attention to even the people that oppose his policy or oppose his thoughts or views. You kind of know where I'm going with this, right? A little bit.
Yeah, he's got a strong presence, and I honestly believe this. I'll even go as far to say this. I believe God has used him and has spoken through him at times. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that. And he's just got, he does have a powerful presence. And I mean, I think, at least, I mean, he ain't perfect. He's a man, but I'd say 90% he is better than, any candidate out there, and better than any Republican out there. I would say 90% at least.
Yeah.
I give him that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Guys, we're talking with Rusty here, a good friend of mine. He has a show on YouTube called The Main Man Channel. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I don't have my notes with me. Obviously, I don't have the notes, but I know it's Main Man, right? Is that how it is presented with the Facebook group page?
The YouTube is now Main Man Channel 2, of course, because my first channel got deleted. My big channel did.
Yeah.
Now, but I have a Facebook. I have a Facebook page called the Main Man Channel, and then I also have a Facebook group which you're a member of. That way, you can share some of your social media to it, called the Main Man Channel and Friends.
Well, by the way, I apologize. the channel, the group page we just mentioned, I'm constantly flooding with material of Savage Unfiltered. I mean, every single time it's like I see notifications pop up, on Facebook, and producer Shaky here, he's like, Mike, there's got to be like 20 or 40 different approvals from the moderator there, Rusty, or whoever works the page. I mean, I apologize, but we put out content on there, and it's good content, and there's really, really awesome content on that group page, guys. I highly suggest you check it out. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow everything, everything. I mean, you can find me on any form of social media. I'm there, just about. I mean, except maybe the new Threads. I haven't even looked at that yet. You've heard about that, of course. But
what's this? The new what?
Yeah, I'm pretty much Threads. You hadn't heard about Threads?
Threads? No, this is a first, and this is new to me. I never even heard it up until now.
Meta created a platform just like Twitter. So Meta, Facebook, they created a platform just like Twitter called Threads.
Oh, maybe. Well, this is new to me because I'm permabanned on Twitter, right? They suspended my account.
You should start another one because my account's starting to grow, and a lot of people. You might even get the other one unlocked. Some people did. Like
I tried. We tried to send a letter out there to Elon Musk, and I've sent, myself, included Shaky and other people on the show. We've sent like 4 or 5 appeals to him, and yet I have gotten an email stating that the account has been unsuspended and unpermabanned and access. Graham said that I was sharing misinformation bullshit. So
yeah, they get me like that all the time, Facebook and Instagram. Luckily I've not been deleted. I mean, I just yeah. But if I was you, I'd go ahead and start another Twitter because Twitter's rocking right now. And then if you're not on Truth Social, it's rocking too.
Oh yeah, we're on True Social. You got to build up the following obviously, because we've only been on True Social for like about 3 weeks, right, Shaky? Yeah, about 3 weeks, and I mean it's what I see at True Social, even though it's ran by Trump, it's still in my eyes it's a beta platform. It's not like your big platforms like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. It's a beta platform. It still needs to grow. They don't even have live streaming on True Social.
No,
I think they need to get live streaming. That would push the envelope to the conservative platform.
And something that worries me, it's always worried me. Trump's only got like 6 million followers on Truth Social now. That's an estimate. It might be like 5.5 actually million.
Yeah.
But you go to Twitter, he's got followers, so he can't even share. His Twitter account is unlocked. Like Elon's allowing him to use it, but he doesn't use it because his agreement with Truth. He can't use Twitter. Occasionally, you'll see him put out a Facebook post or an Instagram post, and he will put a Facebook or Instagram post out every now and then because they're unlocked now too.
He owns the damn platform. So how is it like his own contract within himself is not allowing it on Twitter? You're saying?
No, he's not allowed to tweet. He's not allowed to tweet on Twitter because of his contract with.
Okay, yeah. The software and all the investors. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
That this would be his main social media platform, and he wouldn't tweet. He can't tweet at all, but still,
that's stupid because that's stupid, Rusty. Because if they were smart, if the investor redo that contract and allow him to tweet, because maybe if by tweeting over to Twitter with that large amount of following he has on Twitter, that would bring a lot of the traffic from Twitter over to Truth. Because like I mentioned, maybe this is just my opinion, Rusty, but Truth is still that beta soft launch platform still. It's still building up its base.
Welcome to Zombie Coffee and Donuts. How can I help you? Can I help you? Oh, is this your order? Here you go. Have a nice day.
Zombie Coffee and Donuts. Zombie tested, zombie approved. Watch End of Life on Facebook at End of Life Series.
Savage.
My opinion, to win the 2024 election, he's going to have to start tweeting. If he don't start tweeting, he's not going to win.
Yeah, he's going to have to. That's how it generated his base in 2016 with the tweets and the Facebooking.
Yeah, but his agreement with Truth, he's not allowed to, and the investors will pull out of it. And so unless he can get that amendment agreed, I mean, you can look it up. It's public record. I actually had a copy of it at one time, but the agreement he had with Truth about where he can't tweet.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. So as we conclude here with this episode, Rusty, I want to get back into this Sound of Freedom. Do you see a possible Sound of Freedom Part 2 in the making here?
Even if there's not a possible Sound of Freedom Part 2, with it's still a box office success. It still paid the investors back. It's still going out there and helping and getting spread out by word of mouth. So the success of it will spawn, even if it don't spawn a Sound of Freedom 2, it's going to spawn more movies like this, blowing the lid off. I think it will start a trend.
I think so too, and I think it's going to be heavily motivated, going into 2024, 2025, 2026, and then going forward. This movie is going to be talked about for generations of generations, and rightfully so.
There's an opportunity here. That opportunity is Hollywood right now is on strike.
Yeah, I noticed that through SAG. I have some friends that are SAG members and stuff, and they do a lot of B-roll films and stuff like that. And the SAG, man, is like, what's going on with SAG? Do you think
this AI stuff is crazy? I'm telling you, this AI stuff's crazy.
Oh, the AI is out of control. It really is.
That's one of the main reasons why they're on strike is because they can use AI to write the scripts. They don't need to pay the writers no more. Heck, they don't even have to have the actors do as much acting because they can computer generate all that. So
yeah, they're using all that CGI crap. I mean, everywhere you see on CGI. I mean, you pop on like regular network TV and it's CGI. They're eliminating the actor. The actor's no longer needed.
Yeah.
Oh, we got CGI. Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're on strike. The other day, we sent that Bing chat AI. You can send it requests and ask it to do things for you, write stories and stuff like that. We asked it to write a story about Wolverine and Deadpool saving a sprinkled donut. And it actually wrote a good story about that. I mean, it was actually a good story.
No shit.
You can have it write scripts and everything. Just that AI, the Bing AI chat platform.
I'm telling you. Like they're not going to need producers anymore, directors. Like AI is going to be basically taking over the world as it is already, and
eliminating jobs, eliminating humans.
we're going to be working for the artificial intelligence soon instead of a real person. You know?
Who knows? They could, I mean, they could even totally CGI a president, and we'd never know. It's changed a lot. You go look at him when he was the vice president, look at his earlobes, and look at him now as the president, his ears shrunk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's weird right there in itself. Maybe he had some plastic surgery to reduce his ears. Who knows?
I don't know. I really don't know. Well, Rusty, I wanna thank you, man, for chatting for going on almost an hour. A really good chat with my buddy Rusty here from Tennessee, guys. Make sure you hit that like and follow button on his channels there, the Main Man channel. Rusty, you're not a Republican or a conservative. You're just a straight up patriot, aren't you, man? Like you don't have a classification, right?
I consider myself right of center Republican, but I consider myself 100% patriot. I mean, 100% constitutional patriot.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, we basically, I mean, we see the same page. I mean, we see it as you know what? You could almost classify yourself as a realist. You're a realist. You see fakeness, but you also see bullshit too, and you're not afraid to call it out.
And actually, Jim Caviezel portrays Tim Ballard on Sound of Freedom. Tim Ballard in real life is actually, he considers himself a libertarian.
A libertarian, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to watch out for the libertarian because they could swing both sides of the fence,
Well, that's what he said. That's what he said. He said, I'm right in the middle of the road. That's what he said, But I like I said, I consider myself right of center, but 100% constitutional patriot.
Yeah, right of center. Hey, final thoughts on this. I know you're a gun guy and you're pro Second Amendment. What do you think of this latest coming out of Florida? I know you probably heard it. Now Florida being a state where you no longer need a permit to carry.
Okay, well, Tennessee's like that too.
Yeah, I know Tennessee's like that, and Georgia does kind of piggyback off you guys too as well. But what do you think of Florida's new rule?
I think,
or new law, so to speak. Yeah, let's say law because that sounds better.
I don't know the fine print of it. I know the fine print of the one in Tennessee, but background check for a gun. If you don't have to have a permit in the state of Florida, meaning you still got to be able to pass a background check for buying that gun. If you're legally not allowed to have a gun,
come on, man. Let's go into reality. I mean, they can blind off.
So if a guy gets stopped and he's got a gun and he's got a felony, he's got a misdemeanor, or shows up on anything like that, he gets a traffic stop or whatever, it's going to ping and he's going to get in trouble for that gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A criminal though doesn't care about gun laws. They're going to get a gun no matter what. There's nothing you can do about that. The only thing that combats that is to have more good guys with guns, and to have more good guys with guns, maybe you have constitutional like the new law Florida passed. That way, you got more good guys with guns. Because if I'm a bad guy and I'm in a room with 10 people, and I know for sure, since they passed this new law, that 8 or 9 of those 10 people could be armed, I'm less likely to do something right there. Because criminals in nature are cowards. They always go after the soft targets. They go after the easy money, the easy thing. They never go after somebody who can take care of themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I think more good guys with guns is a good thing. It didn't really make crime go up in Tennessee. We've got about the same number of criminal shootings as we did before.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. I'm kind of neutral on it because I do feel that, some of the NRA has to come into play a little bit and be more responsible with it. We need, you know what we have? You know what we have a huge problem? And folks, I got to close it out here soon, but I just kind of got stuck on this Second Amendment issue. You know what we have a problem with, Rusty? We have a problem with the mental illness in this country. That's where the NRA comes in. The NRA has to screen out more, have to do more on their part, and maybe, just maybe, we could tackle mental illness a little bit, you know, with the purchasing of guns.
If Wayne LaPierre would quit pocketing all the donations to the NRA could do a lot more.
See, it's become money. It's become funding. That's the problem. We have way too many corrupted lobbyists and special donors out there that care more about their pocket than they're, than doing right for the country. You know, the NRA, they have to step it up. You know, like I thought when President Trump tackled that issue a few years ago with the NRA and gun purchases that involved with the mental illness in this country, I thought he handled it perfectly, and he had a really, really good proposal. And then, what was it? That fucking witch hunt popped up with Russia collusion. Oh, PP tapes, and the Russian hooker and everything. He was going to a right direction with that approach, and then it really never took its way, where it should have. And I think that's where President Trump has to come back in. If he's going to make good policies, if he does become president, which I hope he does, we got to get this idiot out of office, Biden. He's a fucking clown, and he's destroying our nation. But I think President Trump, Rusty, I think he has to tackle the mentally disturbed and the gun issues that we have regarding the mentally disturbed. Because now I'm going to say it, and if it offends you, I'm sorry. If it offends you, I'm offending you in the right way, because maybe it'll wake you up. But mentally disturbed, Rusty, should not have access to guns, because their mindset is not there to keep that gun, safeguard it, not only against themselves. I mean, I hope we can agree on those terms.
Well, like I say, with your all's new law, you have to be able to pass a background check to purchase a firearm to be able to carry it. That right there in itself, if they were ever, when you fill out the 4473, they asked you, were you ever mentally adjudicated with a judge? And if a judge ever mentally adjudicated you, you have to answer yes on that, and that's going to make you fail the background check.
Well, I mean, anybody can forge their questions, right? I mean, their answers to the question. Excuse me. Like, you just said something that, like, you have to answer yes or no. Well, obviously, somebody, if they really want something in life, they can answer the opposite question, or excuse me, the opposite answer to that question.
Well, the next background check is pretty good, and it's actually sometimes too good. Even people that shouldn't be delayed, usually if there's anything wrong, it shows up as a delay.
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but the system, here's where I'm going back with this, okay? What President Trump has to propose a better system, okay? Because the system that we have right now is so easily manipulated by even the average person. Anybody can manipulate this. It has to go further. In order to make our society safe against the mentally disturbed with gun purchases and access to guns, we have to develop a better system, because the system that we have right now, I think, sucks. Something has to be better. I mean, if we're going to spend our tax dollars as American citizens, that's where I wouldn't mind spending my tax dollars on a proposal bill that goes further to the envelope to try to make this system 10 times better of the screening process that we currently have now. You know what I mean?
Well,
I know, but yeah.
I think the 4473 that we have right now is adequate enough, and maybe even a little bit more than adequate. And I think that President Trump should be preaching nationwide constitutional carry for all 50 states if he wants to get elected by the gun owners, because I know 1 out of every 2 gun owners I talked to didn't vote for Trump because of his views on firearms. So if he preached constitutional carry and he armed America, and like I say, more good guys with guns, the better, then I think that would help him get elected. That's my opinion on that. So I'm pro 2A. I am totally pro Second Amendment, just as it's written. I think it's a God-given natural right for a person to be able to defend themselves or defend themselves against government tyranny. And so that's where I'm at with that. Even if somebody did jail time, if they did their time, they become a good citizen, I think they should be able to go through a process to get their gun rights back. That's how pro 2A I am on.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's freedom. Everything that you hold dear to, that's sound of freedom. That's the way, in closing here on the show, that's the way we go as a nation and as a society. When you hear the sound of freedom, what do you hear? I'm going to leave that onto you guys to figure out. Thanks very much, guys, for joining here on the show, Savage Unfiltered. Remember, guys, you can follow us anywhere you hear a podcast, whether it's on our audio platform, Spotify, Google, Apple, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're now on twitch.tv, which is both for gamers and podcasters. So you're going to want to check us out on twitch.tv. Search Savaged Cast. Like the show Savaged, and then Cast, C-A-S-T. Search that, guys. Twitch platform through the show. So check us out there on twitch.tv. Also, Rumble. Check us out on Savage Unfiltered on Rumble, putting out just about, daily videos on Rumble. So you're going to want to check us out there. Every Saturday, guys, we do live streaming on Rumble, as well as YouTube and our Facebook page, Savage Unfiltered. So many different ways to reach the show, both video and audio. Some new merchandise stuff on savagedarmy.com. So check us out on savagedarmy.com. I'm going to bring out some promo codes this weekend. So you're going to want to check that out as we address it on our Facebook and other platforms. And this upcoming week, guys, check out the new website. In closing, last announcement, and I'm going to get you guys out of here because I know you're probably tired of hearing my voice. But one more announcement, and I promise, and then we're out of here. And then I got to give a shout out to Rusty, and then we're closing out the show. I think I'm done, man. You got any final thoughts here before we depart, or I think we kind of
go see Sound of Freedom. Just go see Sound of Freedom. Go see Sound of Freedom. That's all I got to say.
Sound of Freedom. I love it.